August 13th, 1947. This is All India Radio. Please wait for our next broadcast. August 14th, 1947. This is Radio Pakistan, Lahore. Congratulations on your independence. I am here to tell you the story of an era whose winds still whisper in the corners of history. This was the time of the Indian subcontinent, which today we know as India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Back then, this entire land was strung together like pearls on a single thread under the rule of the British Crown. The history of this region stretches back thousands of years. It was once home to the great Indus Valley civilization, and later, the Arab invasion of Sen reshaped its political and cultural landscape. Time moved on, and centers of power shifted. In the early 19th century, the East India Company entered under the guise of trade and gradually brought the entire subcontinent under its control. Initially, they allied with local kings and nobles, but eventually their intentions changed. They began imposing taxes on land, taking control of agricultural produce, and interfering in people's daily lives. At the time, Hindus and Muslims lived side by side in many places. They set up shops in the same bazaars, washed clothes on the same riverbanks, and participated together in the same fairs. Yet, differences in religion, culture, and social systems slowly began to create distance between their hearts. Certain historic events, such as the First War of Independence in 1857, deepened these divides. The 1857 War of Independence was the moment when Hindu and Muslim soldiers joined forces to revolt against the British. From Delhi to Kanpur, from Lucknow to Jhansi, the fire of rebellion spread. But tragically, the uprising was crushed. After that, the British strengthened their divide and rule policy, planting seeds of suspicion and mistrust. Following the 1857 uprising, a long, dark night descended upon the Muslims of the subcontinent. The British blamed them more heavily for the revolt. They suffered not only political setbacks, but were also restricted in education and economics. Madrasas were closed, lands were confiscated, and Muslims were pushed out of the political arena altogether. It was in this environment that a man emerged, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. He urged Muslims from the depths of his heart, gain knowledge, for without it, we cannot protect our past nor succeed in the future. In Aligarh, he laid the foundation for modern Muslim education, which later became Aligarh Muslim University. Sir Syed was clear in his mind. Hindus and Muslims were two distinct nations. He said, Hindus and Muslims are like two streams of water that may flow side by side, but they can never merge. This thinking later became the foundation of the two-nation theory. By the late 19th century, the Hindu community had established the Indian National Congress, but Muslims feared their voice would be drowned within it. This concern led to the founding of the All India Muslim League in 1906 in Dhaka. Initially, the League tried to maintain peaceful relations with the British government, but over time, Congress policies and the pressure of Hindu majority politics transformed the League into a strong political force. The 1905 partition of Bengal further altered the political climate. In 1920, Mahatma Gandhi launched the non-cooperation movement, but communal tensions worsened. Around this time, Muhammad Ali Jinnah realized that a separate political strategy was essential to protect Muslim rights. Although Jinnah saw separate electorates as necessary, he was willing to compromise on some points. However, negotiations between the two major parties ultimately failed. In 1930, Allama Iqbal presented the vision of a separate Muslim state. After the outbreak of World War II, the Congress resigned from provincial governments, while the Muslim League strengthened its political position. Eventually, when the end of British rule was announced, it was decided that Hindu-majority areas would join India, and Muslim-majority areas would become Pakistan. In March 1947, Lord Louis Mountbatten was appointed the last viceroy to oversee the process of partition. Pakistan was to gain independence as a dominion within the Commonwealth, while in India, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru promised equality and justice for all citizens, though caste and untouchability still persisted in the country. At Lahore's Minto Park, the Muslim League held its historic session, where the Lahore Resolution was passed. Some of Punjab's Indo-Aryan ethnic and linguistic groups strongly opposed the partition. Despite many negotiations, no solution emerged. In 1947, under the Mountbatten Plan, partition was announced. Cyril Radcliffe was given only 5 weeks to draw the new border between the two countries. Villages and towns began preparing for migration. As the day of freedom drew closer, reports of riots and attacks grew more frequent. The sun of independence rose, but alongside it flowed rivers of blood. It is said that during this migration, more than 10 million people were displaced, and between 1 to 1.5 million lost their lives. New countries had been born, but the wounds of migration remained etched in the hearts forever. This story is not just a chapter of the past. It still beats within our hearts today. Partition separated us with borders, yet memories, bonds, and sacrifices still keep us connected. The echo of migrating caravans' footsteps, the whistle of the train, and the cries of broken hearts, all are preserved deep within the layers of history. Freedom is a blessing, but it is also a trust passed down from the millions who gave everything for it. It is upon us to remember their sacrifice and to tell the generations to come that freedom is not just about raising a flag, but about protecting it as well. Because time moves on, memories fade, but the blood that seeps into the soil changes the color of history forever.